And welcome back to part two of this special 12 bar Thursday, Tuesday, 12 bar something. Um, Both hashtags will work. We are the first part, special part. I wanted to kind of go back and celebrate the softball weekend that we had. Be sure to check out the pod later in the week where I go into more detail over our weekend. Plan to have some guests and some call ins. Switch it up a little bit. Let you guys hear the productive weekend we had and just good all around networking event for us for the law school. Just a great environment. So the first part of 12 bar Tuesday was about that, and then I wanted to keep in with the theme that I've been doing, especially since I kind of skipped out on last week. Sorry, busy. Busiest time of year for work. Tutoring kicked up and trying to get everything planned, leaving town. So that is on me. But this, we are back. And just for those of you watching this for the first time, this part of the 12 Bar Tuesday is the 12 Bar Tuesday behind the bars, where I take a previously released 12 Bar Tuesday and I kind of go back in, let you kind of understand my mindset when I was writing it, let you know the reason why I wrote it, let you know the rhyme scheme, if there's other schemes involved, so that way you can kind of get the full picture of the full circle of when I write bars for anything. So, with that being said, without further ado, this one is, I think, dated right around June 23rd, 2020. So, once again, for those who don't remember that time, just under 2 years ago, a lot of social unrest. The first couple of 12 Bar Tuesdays were about, you know, similar type topics. It was just a way to express feelings, express artistically, express kind of maybe viewpoints that some people might not understand. And so it's always meant as a talking point. As always, get in contact with me. Let's have a discussion rather than just point fingers at people, because nothing will change unless tough conversations are had. So that's kind of the background of where this was. Have not listened to it since, but there I am down there. And so, like before, I'll play a couple bars, pause it, go back through it, and then we'll get through all. Then I'll have a big wrap up where I need to have a wrap up. So, without further ado, here is 12 Bar Tuesday, Thursday, Behind the Bars, Part 3. Don't and allow. We should be breaking bad behavior. We shouldn't condone and allow. We should be breaking bad behavior. Alter the law in order to change so we can be safer. They lie to me. Open face with no action. Cue the screensaver. The numbers show when they divide, we become the remainder. So we shouldn't condone bad behavior. Ooh, I stopped it on a beautiful part there. We shouldn't condone, we should be breaking bad behavior. So basically, we shouldn't condone bad things. We shouldn't condone if cops are being bad to people. We shouldn't allow that. We shouldn't allow regular, everyday people to be bad to people. We shouldn't condone bad behavior. We should be getting rid of it. We should be breaking bad behavior. We need to change some of the laws. People are protesting so that they can order change. So we need to alter the law, and then we need to order change so that we can be safer. they lie to me. I mean, people in important positions lie to us on the daily. They say it's open faced. They say, we have nothing to hide. But then there's no action. Cue the screensaver. So on your computer, if you leave your computer open and then there's no action on your computer, the screensaver pops up. So open faced, they talk to us with open face with no action. The computer open face, no action. Cue the screensaver. The numbers show when they divide. We become the remainder. So the numbers in past history have shown when people who make laws, when they divide, it has historically been skewed towards a certain demographic or skewed towards a certain tax bracket, if you will. And then those who are not in those tax brackets and those who are not in those demographics, they become the forgotten. They become the remainder. Just drive around in your local cities, wherever you are, and there's always a forgotten part of town. Probably a bad reference, but an old Chris Rock skit said that there were, and it's true if you think about it, every town has two malls. There's the mall that you know, and then there's the mall that white people used to go to, meaning that mall has been forgotten. So that is the remainder. Just an example. Great skit, but that guy. Ooh. Alright. With that being said, on to the next. All facts. C as I see. It's verified with blue checks. Same suits, different power based on colors. We need new decks, turn the page, but their intentions are clearly defined. Rewind it back. You'll see Alright, so I cut this one back mid-bar because I want to talk about the last 3 bars and then play this last bar back so that I could do a recap of that. So, all facts. So I'm basically saying everything I've said is facts. You can see as I see it, meaning look at it through my eyes. It's verified with blue checks. So those, if you are a Twitter handle or if you are an IG handle, verification, if it's a verified profile, it gives you a blue check. So that's who it is. And so I'll bring out the cards there because I wanted to make a card reference. Cards are very important to me, my family. When in doubt, just have a deck of cards. You can play a numerous amount of games. Keep yourself busy just with a deck of cards. And so in a deck of cards, you have 4 suits. You have hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades. And then if you're playing spades, so a thing that my lovely wife and I like to play are spades. In spades, you have different powers, and it's based off of different colors. And so the spade card is the highest card. If you go up playing hearts, the red cards are the power cards. And so no matter what game you play, there's a deck of cards with 4 suits, but each power is based on different colors. So I'm saying that we need new decks to turn the page. So we need new decks of cards. But because this has been going on for so long, their intentions are clearly defined. Now, I'll play this last part and then do a quick rewind of the first 8. Rewind it back. You'll see they're just adding to the series of crimes. So clearly defined series of crimes. There's my rhyme structure. And then for those of you who, if you have not listened to any bars that I have done or have not watched any of the previous episodes, I encourage you to go back and watch. Um, Battle rap is a big thing to me, and the good battle rappers, their pen game, they try to hide schemes within an overall scheme. And so in these first eight, I have explained, what the bars meant in the sequential order, what what they meant at the time, how they meant one thing, but throughout that entire time, there's a different meaning. So this last line, rewind it back, you'll see that they're just adding to the series of crimes. And so as I look through this, um, there are eight different series, crime series, that were listed in the first eight bars. And so it's kind of those things I like to challenge myself to not just rhyme words and not just make it make sense, but if I can intertwine other things, it just shows a deeper layer of writing and a deeper layer of how to make bars meaningful. So, just like before, I will list these eight in the comment section. Before you do that, try to go back, try to see if you can point out all eight. This is what I encourage you to stop and then do this, because I will do this right now. And so that way you can see, but I want you to just try, see how many you can get. Or if you picked it up before, see how many of the eight that you can get. But like last time, I will point it out when it comes out so that you can hear and hopefully start catching what I'm saying. So from the beginning, let's pick out these series of crimes.
We shouldn't condone and allow. We should be breaking bad behavior. Alter the law in order change so we can be safer. They lie to me. Open face with no action. Cue the screensaver. The numbers show when they divide, we become the remainder. All facts. See as I see. It's verified with blue checks. Same suits, different power based on colors. We need new debts, turn the page, but their intentions are clearly defined. Rewind it back, you'll see they're just adding to the series of crimes. Tell your secretary, this ain't temporary. We should be important every month, not just in February.
So tell your secretary, this ain't temporary. And so basically, just tell most people that have secretaries, just let them know, this is not just a temporary fad. Reliving back, going back to June 2020, there were a bunch of different people who were adding BLM patches on floors, and companies who were doing policies and a whole bunch of other things to give the impression that they cared, but then we didn't want this just to be a fad. We didn't want this just to, come in, come out, because then people will forget. So tell your secretary, this isn't temporary. We should be important every month, not just in February. As some of you know, hopefully by now, February is Black History Month, which is also the shortest month of the year. And so we should be important every month, not just February.
As a rat likes cheddar, some will chastise lesser. Man, we just want to matter. We're not saying Black Lives better.
And so, as a rat likes cheddar, pretty self explanatory, some will chastise lesser, so some won't point the finger. They'll understand, they'll embrace, they'll listen. That the whole thing, and this is the part where a lot of people got up in arms. You know, when people started saying Black Lives Matter, instantly it became like, well, that company's a terrorist organization who is doing this, this, and this, and you know they are just as bad as the problem as other people. If that is your initial thought, then this is what this message, this last line is specifically directed to you. Because when we say Black Lives Matter, it's just saying Black Lives Matter as well. Because historically they haven't. And that's all. There's no company, there's no organization. It's just a statement about lives. That's it. With that being said, we're not saying Black lives are better. We're just saying we matter. And so that's the disconnect, that as soon as people saw those words or they saw those initials, all of a sudden it just oozed just a feeling of something, and people made it political, and it's not political. We just, we just didn't want to die out here for no reason. That's all. That's all that meant. Um, and so that was those 12 bars that had to do with crime. Hence the crime series uh, scheme that I mixed in there. But hopefully, I wanted you to get that different layer of why, how I write, what I meant in those 12 bars that I wrote. And, I think I'll kind of skip around, skip back, because I don't necessarily want to go in sequential order. So I want to kind of bring some old stuff, bring some new stuff, mix in. Maybe I'll check a song that I've done. We'll mix it up. If you have a specific 12 bar Tuesday that you'd like me to break down, please feel free to mention it in the comments. Get in contact with me. Let me know. Let the people know. Because, of course, here at the Purcell Project, we plan to give the people what they want. And so, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this 12 bar Thursday, the Behind the Bars edition 3.0. I hope you enjoyed the first part of this 12 bar Thursday, where I kind of shout out the softball team. Pay attention and be on the lookout for later this week, where I will have a pod discussing all of the events that happened over the FSU Law alumni men's softball team and our quest to go back to back. So, with that being said, thank you for listening. Have a good night. And as always, listen, enjoy, share. Have a good night.